Hey, what's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning in once again. As always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell so every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. So let's get into the N word. I'm not sure if I've told you my take on this. I think I have. I'm not sure if you've seen it, but the older I get, the more and more I hate the word. When I was a kid, when I was young, hated the word. Mom despised it. Could understand, being from a little small country town in the South. I'm sure she heard it enough in her life. A lot of the older people, they hate the word. Don't want you to say it. That makes them cringe when we say it, when anybody say it, because they know the history of it. Although there's no real definition of it, it's just like, what it means. What they call it, the unwritten rule, the unwritten definition is you don't have to put it in the dictionary. You know what it means and what's behind it when somebody say something. Just like anything else, somebody say anything to you, somebody look at you a certain way, somebody do certain things. Shoot, you don't need an explanation. You already know what the deal is. You know what's coming, right? You know where it came from, and you know what needs to come afterwards. But then I think when I got in about third grade, so went to private school at the younger years up until second grade. Then in third grade, went to public school right across the street from the house, and different dynamic of kids. And the N word was used a lot amongst my peers. So then one night I remember a friend of mine came over. Him and his mom came over, and a friend of mine from the private school, it was a black dude, it was a young brother. And they was over there. I don't know if they was getting ready to leave or whatever. Remember, I can just recall we was all standing there talking. I was talking to my friend, and my mom was talking to the lady. And I guess when I was talking to him, I, called him the N-word or whatever, just casual. Didn't think nothing of it. And my mom looked at me and said, "What you say?" I'm like, "Huh?" And I didn't understand. I really didn't know what I had said. Didn't think anything wrong, whatever. And she pulled me to the side, off to another room. She said, "What you say?" I said, "What you just say?" She said, "What you just call him?" And then it clicked. I said, I remember. And I said it with such shame in my voice, felt like one of the worst things I ever do. And she explained to me how just the history of it, right? And don't say this and the third. I do remember that. And even my friend's mom was like, "What did she say?" And she was like, "I don't know." He was like, he didn't know, but she caught it. She caught it. And I remember that till this day. Like I said, that was in the third grade. So we're talking almost 40 years ago. Yeah, almost 40 years ago. Like I said, but I got it. So I saw, I still remember it. So you get older, then you get back into your friend with your friends, and she's still using the word. You just kind of watch your mouth around grown folks. The music you listen to, there it is. It's out in public. But you're young, you don't think nothing of it, right? You just rap it. But in the back of your mind, you still like, I can't say this in public. But anyway, it's just part of the norm now. Yeah, rap group with the word, with the name in it. But then, like I say, you get older, and this is where the issue comes in. And get to high school. In high school, went to school, a bunch of black kids, few white, a lot of Mexicans coming in, Hispanics coming in, and you be talking to them, be cool with them, whatever, and all of a sudden let's just not even cool with them. They are like the Hispanic community. They be talking amongst themselves, and you hear them talking. And they calling themselves an N-word. And then you look at him, you're like, what you say? He said, what? And then y'all going back and say, "Man, don't say that word. What you talking about?" You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, I ain't mean nothing behind this and the third. And they probably didn't. But you like, oh, man, this is getting out of hand. So now, like I say, now you notice it's in all rap music. And then I start to pay attention to it more. Like the music that's being put out. Using the N-word, calling the females B's and H's. the drug use, the drug dealing, the killing, sleeping with so many dudes or so many females, depending on who's rapping, this, that, and the third. And then you listen to other music, like, man, this music is like detrimental to us, like for real. I remember a time when the rap, CD, you had your street music, you had your gospel music, you had your song for the ladies, and you had your song for the clubs, like all the albums were just diverse like that. Now it's just destruction, 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 every song. But that one word is always the catalyst that causes the most controversy, not what people are rapping about. Like I said, all the detrimental and destructive stuff that they're rapping about, but just this word when other people who are not black use it, which is crazy because other people who are not black are the one who created it in the first place. So, like I said, the older I got, the more I said, hey, I don't like the word, don't want to hear it. I don't try to use it. And people say, oh man, you got to take it and change it, take the power away from it, use it as a term of endearment. And then I say, okay, well, let me ask you this question and think of this and answer this. Think about it. How many times do you use this word as a term of endearment? Just a percentage. I say, I guarantee, one, do this. Take your favorite rap song and in that rap song, replace that word, the N word, with the word brother, or with the word king, or with the word sister or queen, depending on who they talking to. Just replace that word with either of those four words and tell me how it makes sense. And the majority of the time, it don't. Majority of the time, it don't, because it's not. It don't hit the same, right? But you know that whenever you mad at somebody, you will call them that. You will use that. Whenever you get upset and you start talking, like say profane words come out your mouth a little more, and that word will come out your mouth even more. I feel like if you use that word too much, Malcolm Jamal Warner just did an interview and said he stopped listening to J.Cole because he used the N word too much. It's like he's using every other light-skinned dude use the N word like every other line. When you do that, to me, like I say, you got a small vocabulary. I remember, I even say this, the great Scarface, like I said, one of the best rappers, lyricists of all times in the history of rap, straight out of Houston. There were times that I had to pull back from listening to his music because he used, the MF word, like all the time, kind of like some of the comedians do. But he did, it's like every other line you use that word. I'm like, dude, if you using that word like that, then your vocabulary, I mean, you go back to and study that dictionary just a little more, or the thesaurus or whatever. Increase your vocabulary, because your lyrical skills are still great, but it seems like you might be in a rut there. But so I'm like, so yeah, it's like the N word, I think people use it so much that it's just, you have nothing better to say, nothing better to use. But then what happens is you put this out in the public, this music, and your biggest financial supporters a lot of times be them folk. And them folk is listening to your music too. It's one thing to have your own people just listen to, keep it underground, keep it street, whatever. Selling out the back of your trunk, selling your CDs at shows, this and the third. But when it gets to the stores, and it gets to the mainstream stores, and then them folk would, because you see them concerts, when you watch them videos on them concerts, the majority of them fans, let's just say the majority of them fans be them white folk. Them little white kids, like seriously. And they reciting every freaking word of your album. And these performers got no problem rapping, or them kids down there reciting their lyrics. I don't know how you feel like that. I just could not sit there and be rapping or saying things using terms that I know that in regular life you ain't gonna be cool with them folks saying it. But the problem is there's so much out there, they gonna get comfortable saying it. Like I said, Hispanics I know, they say it to each other. They'll call each other that. You know what I'm saying? And without even thinking twice. But that's how they grew up around that. You see what I'm saying? When you grow up around that, and that's all you hear. Just like back in the day when black folks used to call each other that, and one person say, I'm not that, and then one of them would say, oh, you think you better than us? Like, what are you talking about? I'm not one, you're not one, and the third, and they get into a fight over something like that. It's the ignorance of it all. It's just the ignorance and immature, not really understanding the grand scheme of things. But when you say it so much, it's put out in the mainstream so much that it's part of everyday vernacular. What do you think people are going to do? How are you going to decipher between who's saying what and how and why they saying it and what's behind it? How are you going to do that? You can't. So the best thing to do is not to use the words or whatever it is that could be offensive. But in this case, we're talking about the N-word. It's just not use it. And if anybody else uses it, you check them, including your own people. That's the only way to eradicate it. Forget that taking the power and this, that, and the third, because when somebody's pissed, and like I say, even black folk, even us, will use it too. But anyway, I say all that to get into this little quick article. This is from allhiphop.com. It says Sexy Red and Mike Jones respond to white TikTokers viral N-word cooking video backlash. Man, I saw that video and it's like, man, y'all think racism is dead? You have got to be kidding. I've explained in many videos. Ain't no way in hell racism is going on. The people that, like I say, my mom was alive and she tell me stories about the stuff she went through. And I think that if my mom was alive, then them white folk was alive and they teaching their kids how to live too and what they went through and what they put other people through. You understand? So it's still there. You can kill a person, but you can't kill the movement or you can't kill a spirit. Like, what was that movie called? Falling? You know what I'm saying? It was like maybe like an extreme, but basically it's like, hey, shoot, evil spirits, good spirits were the two, but spirit, it just keep going. It ain't gonna, that person can die, but don't worry, it'll find its way to somebody else. That's just how life is. It says both Sexy Red and Mike Jones. Mike Jones still rap? But anyway, Sexy Red, who I don't even, Lord have mercy. I don't know. Sexy Red and Mike Jones have voiced their opinions. Who cares? And I'm gonna go and read. Voiced their opinions on the viral clip of a white TikTok user casually dropping the N-bomb on camera in a cooking video she recently shared onto the platform. Why couldn't, and I'm gonna look and see, but why, like, you know, people like Chuck D, like all the old Poor Righteous Teachers, all the older or even the younger, you know, rap lyricists, Boogie Down Production, KRS One. Why don't we hear what they say about this? Now, elders, now people who consider elders now who can, you know what I'm saying, give some knowledge and understanding about what's going on. Not people on here who's probably going to be emotional in their response. Let's say, in case you missed it, the controversy erupted when TikTok user at LLDDIISS, Liddies, I guess that's what they're trying to say, whose name is presumed to be Lilly, posted a cooking video in which she lackadaisically used the N-word to describe the male partners of her married friends. More specifically, Lilly said that all of her friends are currently, quote, married to broke-ass N-words without even batting an eye. And we say, and that's with the AS. So that should make it better, right? See how stupid that mess sound? Adding insult to ignorance, the young Caucasian woman proceeded to troll on social media as a saga fanned out across platforms such as Twitter and Instagram. The ninja that was heard around the world, Lilly wrote in a string of tweets she authored shortly after the controversy unfolded. The incident quickly gained traction on social media with widespread backlash over her use of the racial slur. Lilly was also then quickly identified as a former employee of GROWTH.H of the Carolinas, a healthcare service company. The company responded promptly by firing the employee and issuing a public statement condemning the use of racist language and reiterating its commitment to diversity and inclusion. Lilly responded by seemingly embracing the controversy and using the publicity as a tool to announce her new career path. Here's the thing. I would not be surprised if she starts making more money after this, because you do know that racism is still alive. It didn't die because Obama became president. It didn't come back just because Trump became president, because the president you got now has been that way since the beginning. If you can watch some of his old YouTube videos, old videos that they don't put on YouTube, with him being in front of Congress, talking about black folks and monkeys and jungles and this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? You know this. But anyway, there are backers that will help support her, that will watch her channel, that will give super chats and super thanks. There are people that will support this young lady, depending on the path that she goes, depending on how she plays this. She can make a lot of money. Somebody can come in and teach her how to dial it back, control what she's saying, how she say it. She can have followers from here to kingdom come. And all of us who gonna be upset because she used the N-word, what the hell does it matter? Because she gonna get paid regardless. And all you gonna do is complain. That's all you do anyway. Thanks, Black community, for helping to launch my new career in conservative media. You all played your role well, like the puppets you are, she wrote in another tweet. Lilly went on to criticize Black people at large for channeling their collective outrage into a campaign to make her unemployed, describing people who were upset about her rhetoric as obsessed, among other things. Before long, she began receiving attention from artists such as Big Sexy, and it's Sexy Red, who said anyway, and Mike Jones, who both were in agreement that Lilly was indeed in the wrong here. She bet not let me catch her. She bet not let me catch her, H-A. Sexy wrote in the comment section of a post resharing Lilly's tweet. This is a person that we want to represent us, that we have represented us in a situation like this. Like seriously, allhiphop.com. I mean, you just put the story out and I get it, but I'm sure there could have been other people that you could have found that maybe got a little more positive, reputable reputation in our community. More pro-black, less demonic, less destroying, people in our community. Not sure why you found Sexy Red of all people. Same woman who, anyway, y'all know about her. Former Swisher House artist and Texas rap artist Mike Jones opted for a different approach, blasting her in both the comment section of the post and taking matters in his own hands by creating posts of his own, chastising her. He's finna chastise a white girl, huh? Former, why is that twice? Who wrote this? In hit initial comment. Y'all, I'm reading this really for the first time, and unless this is an AI, this is probably an AI generated article. I'm gonna say that, or someone probably wrote some stuff and AI cleaned it up for them, and they didn't go back and proofread. This is why the human touch, the human brain, will never be replaced. Education can never, ever be replaced with ignorance and low-level competency. Never will. Because I've read while reading, I have corrected some things while in the middle of reading that y'all didn't even see yet, that y'all didn't even hear. But the more I keep reading, it's like, what in the heck? But this is a time that we coming to. People have short memory spans. They don't know how to read, don't know how to proofread. I remember doing papers. It used to be 5. You had to do rewrites 4 or 5 times before you turn in a final draft to get a C. I mean, they not even, I don't know who's proofreading. This is not journalism. I thought journalism was better than this. But it says in hit initial comment, but it should be in his initial comment. This is just taken away from the story. I'm sorry, y'all. In his initial comment, Jones utilized reverse psychology and flipped Lilly's own logic on its head and use against her. I'm not even racist, but since she was cool and got a pass to do what she did, thanks white community for helping to launch her racial upbringing, thinking she used the quote black community to launch her new career in conservative media. Jones wrote in part, like I say, where they find these representatives, because they're writing, your writing and your speaking should like coincide one the same. It should be understandable. And clearly this is not, but I guess it's the problem when you're on social media and you only got so many characters to write something. You know, it's just, you sound as ignorant as hell. He continued, nah, you all played your roles well, just like we expected, just like the puppets y'all are, co-signing and gaslighting the B. Don't come now telling us you got fired as you shoulda knew what came with it. Shout out to her job, which I'm sure was not cool with this racist S, and you was heard saying all over the world. Stuff like this, you should just say it, because reading it don't make sense. But if you say it, it makes sense, all the sense in the world. I get what he's saying. In the post he shared, Jones went on to explain that he wasn't singular in his outrage while also sounding off on Lilly for appearing to play the victim role. All I can say is fair exchange ain't no robbery, is what I was told. I got a lot of white friends and even they were shocked by it, he said in part. He continued effectively labeling Lilly as a clout chaser, among other things. That's what it seemed like. I mean, she's upset about something. Say she, like all her friends got married to like broke, you know what I'm saying, broke Negroes. And when she was talking something about her voice, something about her tone, there's some anger somewhere towards black people for whatever reason. Maybe one of them took her man. Maybe one of them took her job. I don't know. Maybe one of them could cook better than her. Maybe one of them slapped the piss out of her one time and she just never forgave him. It's something. It's something there. Maybe one of them took her mama. Maybe her mama went off and cheated, or her dad went off and cheated with a black person. Who knows? But there's some hatred there somewhere behind that. And not have it by her statements as they said she purposely used the N-word, knowing that it came from her would be default, make it go viral. Hashtag they do anything for clout. Shout out to her job who fired her as soon as they got the word. Don't use our community and disrespect at the same time, thinking you finna blow up in the media. You blew up all right, not the type of hype I think she was expecting. We gotta do better. End quote. So yeah, like I was saying, man, that word is not gonna go on away. Just like racism is not going away anytime soon. So how do we deal with it? Do we deal with it? Is it even worth dealing with? I mean, you can't. I mean, I think it's going to have to come a time to where it's just part of our vernacular. And we just roll with it. Because think about it. Like I said, the N-word, like I said, really no definition to it, but you know what's behind it. But it's just kind of like the B word. When you call somebody the B word. Now y'all might say, oh, that's a female dog. Okay. But it sounds harsh though. You know what I'm saying? Because you say, oh, that's my dog. You know what I'm saying? What's up, dog? You know what I'm saying? It's, some people get offended. Man, ain't no dog. But you know, they get you know, people get emotional about something. Like, okay, cool. You know, some people call each other fool and stuff like that. Some people cool with it. Some people ain't. But yeah, like I said, that word, we have to, I think, just have to accept that it's just part of daily vernacular for most people. And it's going to hurt some people, and some people are going to use it, just roll off the tongue like it don't mean nothing. But like I say, I think it's going to get to a point to where it's just, there's no real racial connotation about it. You can't really make it racial. Just take it for what it is, as a hateful word that people use, and they flip it how they want to. Like I said, like the B word. You know, you got females, they call each other that as a term of endearment, which is the most crazy thing I've ever heard in my life. But then they'll cuss each other out using that same word. I don't get it. So to me, I'm gonna say like this. Now, I don't really react to it a lot now for myself. Now, if let's say someone other, like say, of a different persuasion says it around, because I could tell tones, you know what I'm saying? Because most of us can tell like where something's coming from. So let's just say somebody from the Hispanic community say the word, you know, talking to each other, or hell, even talking to me. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't even trip on it no more. But if there are people around, like let's say like older black women, older black people, and they using their words, I will shut it down. You know, I will say something like, all right, man, you can't, gonna be some respect around them people, just like we were when we was kids. You know, you talk amongst each other, y'all talk to each other. We can be cursing and this, that, and the third, laughing, joking, pants sagging, whatever. But you know, when them elders come around, them women, them brothers, them men, real women, real men come around, you straighten up. You know, you say, no, you know, you change it up real quick, get proper and everything. You get respectful. And that's all. And like I said, and that's how I'm gonna treat. That's how I treat, like I said, that where I treat anything. Cause anybody get to cursing a lot around, you know, I'll be like, man, hey man, language, you know what I'm saying? Cause I don't like to curse a whole lot. I don't like to curse, period. Try to cut it out completely. But every now and then you slip, but I don't like using profanity. I don't like to hear it around me. So, you know, you trying to be like, hey man, you know, just kind of, you know, respect, you know, just respect especially when you're like around a lot of people who may not use that word. Some things people don't want to hear all that. It's just detrimental. Last time it's just demonic around it. So would I be upset? I thought it was funny when the white girl did it. It was like, that's just them being them. But they're looking for you. They're looking for people like Mike Jones and Sexy Red and people to make comments and to get all butthurt about it and to come back. It's called clicks and views. Getting out there, promotion, and then eventually, you know, trying to make money off of it. That's basically what it's for. So why even comment, man? You just look at it and just move on and don't say nothing. Shoot, eventually they'll go away. Or they'll eventually go away off into the sunset and not even bother you. Just look at it and laugh and just keep it going. That's how you're going to combat that without actually getting in trouble yourself by doing something physical. You feel what I'm saying? Or like, hey, you can just don't comment. Just send it to her boss, her super, find out who she is, send it to her job, and yeah, let them fire, whatever. And let that be the reason and be like, hey, well, hey, you got what you wanted. You know what I'm saying? You messed around and found out. So either way, tell me what you think about this story, y'all. Leave your comments below. Let's dialogue. You know how we do around here. Hey, and don't forget, there are 4 ways that you can support the channel. It don't cost you anything but a couple of minutes out your day. That's like, share, comment, and subscribe. But if you do want to support monetarily, you can give a super thanks, super chat, or click in the description box, and there are links there that you can click on to help support too. Have you do it, know that I appreciate it. I love it. And I thank you for everything, just for even watching and giving a thumbs up. But that being said, I leave you in peace, and I'll see you on the other side.